Future wife, if somehow these words find you before we ever meet, listen carefully. This isn't a love letter. It's a promise, a warning, and a vision of the life I refuse to build with anyone but you. Future wife, before our paths cross, there is something I need you to understand. I don't believe the purpose of love is to find someone who will save us from ourselves. I believe the purpose of love is to find someone who inspires us to become more of who we were always capable of becoming. Before I meet you, I have a responsibility. I have to build myself. I have to challenge my weaknesses, confront my fears, and become someone who can stand beside you, not someone who depends on you to carry the weight of my unfinished dreams. Because a strong relationship is not created when two incomplete people desperately hold on to each other. It is created when two people who have worked on themselves come together and decide to build something greater than either one could create alone. The truth is, becoming the right person is often a lonely process. There will be moments when nobody understands the sacrifices you're making. There will be nights when you question whether the effort is worth it. There will be times when the easier choice is to stop growing, stop learning, and accept a comfortable version of yourself. But comfort has a hidden cost. It slowly takes away the person you could have become. I don't want to meet you while I'm still running away from my potential. I don't want to bring my unresolved fears into our future and expect you to fix what I refuse to face. I want to meet you as someone who has learned how to take responsibility, how to keep promises, and how to continue moving forward even when things become difficult, because life will test us. There will be challenges we cannot predict, problems we cannot avoid, and moments where everything we built feels uncertain. In those moments, love alone won't be enough. We will need character. We will need patience. We will need the ability to look at each other and say, we are not giving up. We are finding a way forward. That strength doesn't appear overnight. It is built through small choices every single day. It's built when you choose discipline over distraction, when you choose learning over ignorance, when you choose courage over fear, when you keep working toward your goals even when nobody is watching. I hope you are doing the same right now. I hope you are building yourself, chasing your dreams, discovering your strengths, and becoming someone you are proud to be. Not for me, but for yourself, because the most beautiful thing you can bring into a relationship is not perfection. It is growth. It is the willingness to keep improving, keep adapting, and keep becoming better. I don't want a partner who has never struggled. I want a partner who understands that struggles are part of the journey. Someone who knows that success is not about never falling. It's about learning how to rise every time life pushes you down. And I promise you, I am working on becoming that person too. I am building the mindset, the resilience, and the vision needed to create a future that is worth sharing. Because when we finally meet, I don't want us to look at each other as missing pieces, searching for completion. I want us to look at each other as two people who spent years becoming stronger, so together we can create something extraordinary. The best love stories are not written by people who were waiting to be rescued. They are written by people who were brave enough to grow. There is something I need you to know before we ever begin our journey together. I don't dream about a perfect love story. I don't believe in a relationship where everything is always easy, where every day feels like a movie, and where two people never disagree or never struggle. That kind of love only exists in imagination. What I want is something real. I want the kind of love that survives difficult conversations. The kind of love that doesn't disappear when life becomes complicated. The kind of love where two people can look at each other honestly and say, we have a problem, but we are going to solve it together. Because the truth is, every meaningful thing in life requires effort. Building a great company requires effort. Creating something valuable requires effort. Becoming someone better requires effort. So why would we expect the most important partnership of our lives to happen without challenges? I don't want us to pretend we are perfect. I want us to be honest about our imperfections and strong enough to grow through them. I want to know your fears, your dreams, your doubts, and the experiences that shaped you into the person you are. I don't want to love only the easy parts of you. I want to understand all of you. And I hope you want the same from me. There will be moments when I make mistakes. There will be times when I don't have all the answers. There will be days when stress, pressure, or uncertainty affects the way I communicate. But what matters is not whether we make mistakes. What matters is whether we have the courage to acknowledge them, learn from them, and become better because of them. A real relationship is not two people trying to win against each other. It is two people choosing the same team. The world will already give us enough reasons to be divided. We don't need to become another source of conflict in each other's lives. We should become the place where we find understanding, support, and strength. The place where we can take off the armor we wear for the rest of the world and simply be ourselves. I want us to celebrate each other's victories, but I also want us to stand together during failures. Because anyone can stand beside you when everything is going well. The true test of love is who stays when things become uncertain, when dreams fail, when plans change, when unexpected challenges appear, when life doesn't follow the path we imagined. That's when commitment becomes more powerful than emotion. Feelings are important, but feelings change. They rise and fall with circumstances. Real love is a decision. It is choosing someone again and again even after seeing their flaws. It is choosing patience when anger would be easier. It is choosing forgiveness when pride wants to hold on to pain. It is choosing growth when staying the same feels comfortable. I don't want a relationship built on temporary excitement. I want a partnership built on trust, respect, curiosity, and a shared mission. I want us to inspire each other to become better versions of ourselves, not because we are not enough, but because we believe there is always more potential waiting inside us. So when we finally meet, I don't want to promise you a life without challenges. That would be a promise I could never keep. I want to promise you something more valuable. I want to promise that no matter what challenges come our way, we will face them together. Because the strongest love is not the one that never breaks. It is the one that learns how to rebuild. Future wife, there is something I hope we both remember throughout our lives together. Our greatest enemy will never be failure. Failure is temporary. Failure teaches us. Failure shows us where we need to improve. Failure forces us to become more creative, more resilient, and more determined. But comfort can be much more dangerous because it can convince us that we are already finished growing. The moment we stop challenging ourselves is the moment we begin losing pieces of our potential. I don't want us to build a life where we simply exist. I don't want us to wake up years from now and realize we stopped dreaming because it was easier to stay where we were. I want us to always be curious. I want us to always ask questions, explore possibilities, and believe that there is something greater ahead of us. Because the world does not reward people who simply protect what they have. Progress comes from people who are willing to step into uncertainty and create something that does not exist yet. And I believe relationships work the same way. A relationship can become comfortable in a way that slowly takes away the excitement and ambition that brought two people together in the first place. Not because the love disappears overnight, but because both people stop investing in themselves and each other. They stop having meaningful conversations. They stop encouraging each other's dreams. They stop becoming the people they promised they would become. I never want that for us. I want us to be the kind of couple that pushes each other forward. The kind of couple that says you can do more, you can think bigger, you can become stronger. Not because we are dissatisfied with who we are, but because we see the incredible potential within each other. I want to know your dreams, even the ones that seem impossible. I want to see you chase goals that scare you. I want to stand beside you when you take risks, because the greatest achievements in life rarely come from staying in a safe place. The truth is, every meaningful journey requires discomfort. Learning a new skill is uncomfortable. Building something from nothing is uncomfortable. Changing old habits is uncomfortable. Becoming a better person is uncomfortable. But discomfort is where growth happens. The strongest people are not those who avoid challenges. They are those who choose challenges because they understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to evolve. And I hope we carry that mindset into our future together. I hope we never become prisoners of our own success. I hope we never say this is good enough when there is still more we can create, more we can experience, and more we can contribute. I don't want us to measure our life only by what we own or what we achieve. I want us to measure it by how much we learned, how much we grew, how many people we helped, and how much stronger we became together. There will be moments when comfort feels tempting. There will be moments when taking the easy path seems logical. But the easy path does not always lead to the meaningful destination. The future belongs to those who are willing to keep moving, even when the road is uncertain. So wherever you are right now, I hope you are becoming someone you are proud of. I hope you are chasing your goals, expanding your mind, and refusing to settle for a smaller version of yourself. Because when we finally meet, I don't want us to just share a life, I want us to build one. And the best futures are created by people who never stop growing. Future wife, there is one thing I hope we never forget, no matter how much time passes, no matter how busy life becomes, and no matter what challenges we face. We must always keep talking to each other, because relationships rarely fall apart because of one huge moment. Most of the time, distance begins with small things that are left unsaid, a thought we keep hidden, a feeling we ignore, a disappointment we pretend doesn't matter, a question we never ask because we are afraid of the answer. And slowly, silence creates a gap between two people who once felt completely connected. I never want that to happen to us. I don't want us to become strangers while standing next to each other. I don't want us to assume we understand each other's thoughts without taking the time to truly listen. Because the truth is, even the strongest connection can weaken when communication disappears. Love is not just about finding the right person. It is about continuing to choose that person through honest conversations, difficult moments, and constant understanding. There will be times when we misunderstand each other. There will be moments when something I say hurts you, or something you do disappoints me. We are human. We will make mistakes. But the difference between a relationship that survives and one that breaks is not the absence of problems. It is the willingness to face those problems together. I want us to create a relationship where we never feel afraid to tell the truth. I want you to be able to tell me when you are struggling. I want you to tell me when something is bothering you. I want you to share your dreams, your fears, and even the thoughts you think nobody else would understand, because I don't want to know only the version of you that the world sees. I want to know the real you, and I promise to give you that same honesty in return. I don't want to hide behind pride. I don't want to pretend I am always right. I don't want my ego to become more important than our connection. Sometimes loving someone means being willing to say, I was wrong. Sometimes it means listening when every part of you wants to defend yourself. Growth begins when we stop trying to prove who is right and start trying to understand what is true. The world will constantly pull our attention in different directions. Responsibilities will grow, challenges will appear, life will become faster. But no achievement, no success, and no external accomplishment should ever become more important than protecting the connection we build together. Because at the end of the day, a relationship is not maintained by big promises made once. It is maintained by small choices made every day, a message asking how your day was, a conversation after a difficult moment, a few minutes spent listening without distractions, a reminder that even during stressful times, we are still on the same side. Those small actions create something powerful. They create trust, and trust is the foundation that allows love to survive anything. So if we ever face a moment where we feel distant, I hope we remember this. Distance is not created by problems. Distance is created when two people stop reaching for each other. As long as we keep communicating, keep listening, and keep choosing understanding over silence, we can overcome anything life places in front of us. Because the strongest relationships are not built by people who never struggle. They are built by people who never stop talking, even when things get difficult. There is something I hope we always remember when we build our life together. Our purpose should never be limited to what we can gain for ourselves. A meaningful life is not measured only by what we own, what we achieve, or how comfortable we become. It is measured by the impact we leave behind and the difference we make in the lives of others. I don't want us to create a life that only revolves around us. I don't want our biggest goals to be simply having more, earning more, or reaching a place where we no longer have to struggle. Those things can be valuable, but they are not the final destination. The greatest achievements are the ones that create opportunities, solve problems, and make the world a little better than we found it. I hope we become the kind of people who look beyond ourselves, because every person has something valuable to contribute. It doesn't always have to be something massive that changes the entire world overnight. Sometimes the greatest impact comes from smaller actions repeated consistently. The way we treat people, the kindness we show when nobody is watching, the encouragement we give when someone feels like giving up, the knowledge we share, the opportunities we create. A better world is not built only by a few extraordinary people. It is built by millions of ordinary choices made by people who decide that their actions matter. And I hope we are those people. I hope we encourage each other to think bigger than just our own comfort. I hope we challenge each other to ask better questions. Not only what can we achieve, but also who can we help? What problems can we solve? What value can we create? Because success without purpose can feel empty. You can reach the highest level of achievement and still feel like something is missing if you never used your abilities to create something meaningful. The things we build, the ideas we share, and the lives we touch are what give our journey deeper meaning. I want us to be partners not only in love, but in purpose. I want us to support each other's dreams while also remembering that our dreams should have a positive effect beyond ourselves. If you have a talent, use it. If you have knowledge, share it. If you have resources, use them to create something valuable. The world has enough people who only ask what they can take from it. We need more people who ask what they can contribute. And I hope our relationship becomes a source of that contribution. I hope our future family learns that success is not just about being ahead of others. It is about lifting others as we rise. It is about teaching the next generation that greatness is not found in attention or recognition, but in responsibility. There will be moments when we face challenges. There will be moments when our plans don't work. There will be times when the world feels uncertain. But even in those moments, I hope we remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Our struggles, our lessons, and our experiences can become tools that help someone else. Maybe the greatest thing we can build is not a house, a company, or a collection of achievements. Maybe the greatest thing we can build is a life that inspires others to believe they can do more too. So when we look back years from now, I don't want us to only remember the things we accomplished. I want us to remember the lives we touched, because the most valuable life is not the one that simply becomes successful. It is the one that makes success meaningful. Future wife, if this is the only message you ever hear from me, I want you to remember one thing above everything else. Life is unpredictable, but the way we choose to live it is what defines us. We don't know how many years we will have. We don't know what challenges are waiting ahead. We don't know what opportunities will appear or what obstacles will test our strength. But what we can control is the effort we give, the love we show, and the person we choose to become every single day. If we are fortunate enough to find each other, I don't want our relationship to be built on promises that sound beautiful but mean nothing when life becomes difficult. I don't want to tell you that everything will always be easy, because that would not be honest. Life will challenge us. There will be moments of uncertainty, moments where we have to make difficult decisions, and moments where we will need more strength than we thought we had. But I want you to know this. I will never measure our journey by how many problems we avoid. I will measure it by how many times we choose to face them together. I want you to remember that love is not just found in the extraordinary moments. It is found in the ordinary ones. It is found in the conversations after a long day. It is found in the support we give when one of us feels lost. It is found in choosing patience when frustration would be easier. It is found in showing up again and again, even when nobody is watching, because the strongest commitments are not built in perfect moments. They are built through consistent choices. I hope you always remember your own worth. Never allow anyone, including me, to make you feel like you need to become smaller to be loved. The right person will not ask you to sacrifice your dreams, your identity, or your potential. The right person will stand beside you and encourage you to become everything you are capable of becoming, and I promise that is the kind of partner I want to be. I want to celebrate your victories, but I also want to stand beside you during your failures. I want to remind you that setbacks do not define you. Mistakes do not erase your value. Difficult seasons do not determine your entire future. What matters is that we keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. If someday life becomes overwhelming, remember why we started. Remember that two people who truly care about each other are not opponents fighting against each other. We are teammates facing the world together. And if there is one final thing I want you to carry with you, it is this. Never stop believing in the possibility of something greater. Never stop learning, never stop dreaming, never stop becoming. Because the person I hope to meet someday is not someone who has everything figured out. It is someone who is still growing, still exploring, and still brave enough to build a future filled with meaning. And I will spend my life becoming worthy of that future.